anything you're seeing on the tape that would lead you to believe that there's a slippage in Wyatt Teller's play?
No, the answer is no. He's by far the best offensive lineman. He's had his issues. Kevin said one thing and he said the other. When you don't have alignment, it's a mess.
Well, now tune back to the Dark Times Challenge.
And so I want to go ahead and touch on the Cleveland Browns and Shedeur Sanders. And Shedeur Sanders has got his third star coming up versus the Tennessee Titans.
Green, yellow. I just told him he didn't care about that type of stuff. I feel like you don't see that. There they go. It's over last year. I like it.
And this is going to be another huge opportunity for Shedeur. And not only an opportunity, but quite possibly we're talking about a do or die situation here with Shedeur Sanders.
I got to say, this is a crucial, pivotal, make or break game in Cleveland for Shedeur Sanders. If Shedeur does struggle in this game, if he gets outplayed by the first overall pick in his draft, although obviously he fell ridiculously to the 5th round, a fellow rookie, but if he gets outplayed by Cam Ward, I'm not going to be surprised if Deshaun Watson, we're going to talk about him in just a moment, but I won't be surprised if Deshaun starts next week or if they go back to Dylan Gabriel and that's the end of Shedeur.
And so unfortunately, I got to agree with Skip Bayless on this one. From what we've seen from the Cleveland Browns and Kevin Stefanski, I wouldn't be surprised if they move on from Shedeur Sanders after this game. If Shedeur Sanders doesn't have a monster stat line versus the Tennessee Titans, if he doesn't go out there and just completely ball out, I could absolutely see the Cleveland Browns and Kevin Stefanski moving on from Shedeur Sanders. And what makes it even more sinister in my mind and a lot of people's minds is that Kevin Stefanski just removed one of the Cleveland Browns' best offensive linemen from the equation.
Maybe that's a guy we stick with. I want to see him get reps. It's like, okay, from one aspect, I understand that you would want to see Tevin play. On the other side of things, you look at the 2 guards that you have right now, you can't just rotate those guys. And you certainly can't be sitting down one of them because, oh, well, the performance doesn't look that great. I'm sorry, there's just not that many offensive linemen that float around in free agency every year that you can just pick up and be like, oh, this guy's going to come and he's going to play great for us. He's going to play incredibly well. There's a reason why left tackles are found in the draft. There's a reason why offensive tackles in general are pretty much, for the most part, through and through found in the draft. There is no possible way that this ends up better. And right now you're just shooting yourself in the foot. For a team that already needs to commit their entire offensive or their entire NFL draft to the offensive side of the football, yeah, let's go create one more problem. Let's go create one more issue that we actually have to solve. Where is the logic in making the offense more dysfunctional and making it harder to actually provide results in a time where you're trying to evaluate a quarterback, at a time where the offense can't score points? If you're telling me you want to make changes, great. Where are you making those changes?
And so a lot of people are saying the same thing. It doesn't make any sense. If you're trying to go out there and win a football game, if you're trying to properly evaluate a quarterback in Shedeur Sanders, why would you take away one of the best offensive linemen left on this team? And so if indeed Kevin Stefanski is doing what we all think that he's doing, like I said earlier, it's a real sinister thing to do because we all know how the mainstream media works. The mainstream media isn't going to be looking at the offensive lineman that Shedeur Sanders was playing at in comparison to Dylan Gabriel's. It's going to be exactly like that 3rd preseason game in which Kevin Stefanski left Shedeur Sanders out there to dry. But hopefully Shedeur Sanders can overcome it. Hopefully he can overcome it. He's already overcome so much this season, but he's going to have one more test, and this is probably going to be his biggest test. Because like Skip said, if he doesn't show out, if he doesn't have a monster stat-like game, or I wouldn't even say a monster stat-like game, a stat line for at least 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, maybe 1 interception or less, if he doesn't have a stat line similar to that, I could see the Cleveland Browns moving on from Shedeur. But we're going to see how it plays out here pretty soon. But let's go ahead and try to keep that conversation going on down below. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that hype button for me. Hype me up on this one. And as usual, peace and chaos.